All right, we're going to solder the wires in right now that run the LED lights. When you do this, you want to make sure that one, you have that luminaire facing towards the back. That's just cosmetics though. It would work both ways, but when you're done, it just looks better, I think, with the luminaire, the bottom of the luminaire towards the back of the drone. And then we're going to flip that over. And in order to get the distances, I just dropped the LEDs upside down and the power distribution board in upside down on the drone. Drop the screws in to hold that center power distribution board in place. You can see I already did that one up there. What I'm going to do is we're going to cut these cords to length. I'm using 22 gauge wire from Radio Shack. Basically you take that, cut it to size, and then you strip off the ends so that we can do tinning, which I'll do right here. We're going to tin the ends of this wire, which is basically just throwing some solder on. And I just figured out how to do this so it's not that hard. But it may not go perfectly smooth. Yeah, just like that. You're just basically melting some solder inside of that wire there so that it makes the job easier when you go to actually put it on there on the drone. Okay. I'm going to take this and we're going to heat up those pads. You can see there's some burn marks, some melting yellowness, because I've put these on and taken them off a couple times now because this is the first time I've ever soldered, so I screwed some stuff up. So hopefully I won't screw up this time, but you never know. Basically we're going to take the heat from the solder, warm up that plate, throw some solder on there, and back up just to get some solder on there so we're not going to a completely dry board of solder. Clean that up a little bit by melting it. There. Okay. And this is basically as well called just tinning where we're going to put the wires. This I've already tinned. We're going to take red wire there. Now that the wire's been tinned and that pad we're soldering it to has been tinned, we're basically just going to apply some heat and maybe some solder. That should be ready to go. Solder in there. Yep, just like that. Come back to the other side here. Drop that in. Throw some solder in there. Take it off. That's not perfect, but that'll hold. Those are just the lights, so that's not critical. Take this. Get that lined up. One thing to remember that I'll flip it over, I'll show you. One of these LED panel lights is red, which is supposed to go in the back. Ooh, that didn't go. And the other one's white, which goes in the front. That looks okay, I hope. The red goes in the back, the white goes in the front of the drone. When I flip it over here, you'll see that the white is actually kind of yellowish in color, and the red is white when they're not on. So that can be a little confusing sometimes. I know people have put those on backwards, said they have online. Basically, we flip that over. You can see the front of the drone, which is up here, it's more of a yellowish color, and then the back here, that's going to be red, but they're white right now. believe I have that correct. If it's wrong, I'll put a little note. But from everywhere I've seen online, that's the way it's supposed to be. And basically next we are going to solder the speed controllers onto this board, and we'll go forward from there.